One of the saddest and yet most fun aspects of modern politics is that politicians have to know how to use Twitter. And they've got to be on there, and they've got to say things, they got to say it clear, succinct, and, basically just directly get to the point here. Because if you can't, you're not going to be able to impress people, you're not going to go viral, and again, unfortunately, that is a big part of politics today. It sucks, but that's what we have to deal with. But Elizabeth Warren actually had a phenomenal clapback earlier this week after Peter Thiel, billionaire tech industry guy, went on Tucker Carlson's show on Fox News, and he said that Elizabeth Warren is the person who scares him the most out of all the Democratic candidates. So Bloomberg tweeted out the following. He said, quote, Peter Thiel, the tech industry's most prominent Trump supporter, says Elizabeth Warren is the most dangerous Democratic presidential candidate. Elizabeth Warren retweeted that with a comment, and the comment was simply one word, one very powerful word. Good. Peter Thiel, billionaire, tech guy, huge government contractor making some spy software and other horrible police state things for them, says Elizabeth Warren is dangerous and scary. And all Elizabeth Warren had to say to get under his skin is good. This is similar to Bernie Sanders, who is now on his website has these non-endorsements, where billionaires talk about how much they don't want Bernie Sanders to be president. Because those two people, Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, represent the greatest threat to the billionaire class here in the United States. I think Bernie represents a little bit more of a threat to them. But if they're also afraid of Elizabeth Warren, then that is a feather in the cap of Elizabeth Warren. I like both Warren and Sanders. Both of them have a couple of things and have said a couple of things that I do not agree with, and it gives me a little bit of pause. But I would not ever rule out either one of those. I would not ever think for a moment that Elizabeth Warren is going to sell out the working class. I simply don't believe it. There's nothing in her history since going into politics that suggests she is going to turn her back on us. A lot of people out there saying, no, she's a secret corporatist. She's going to take PAC money, which she said she might. That is one of the things I don't like. She is not 100% clear on Medicare for all. I know she said she was during the Democratic debate. We had been waiting for a long time to hear it, but is that how it's going to be? Again, that's one of the things I have reservations about. Bernie Sanders has been clear on those issues, but Bernie Sanders also voted to give the gun industry immunity. That's not okay. And his rationale for it, his reasoning for it, was very flimsy, and I didn't buy it. I don't like it. I know that he has since talked about the gun violence epidemic here in the United States, and he is very serious about it. But again, I don't want to get into the few qualms I have with both of those candidates. The fact that they both scare the hell out of billionaires in this country, the fact that they're terrifying the top 1%, is one hell of an endorsement for both of them. Billionaires, millionaires, the top 1%, corporations, whoever it is, they have had it too good for too long here in the United States. And I'm not saying we're going to make their life a living hell. All I'm saying, and what the candidates are saying, is that your piece of the pie is going to get a little smaller. And that's okay, because you're still going to get some pie. But there's people in here who haven't had pie, some of them for their entire lives. And we're going to give them a little bit of that. You're still going to be fine. You're still going to have more. You're still going to be just fine. But we're going to start sharing with these people. We're going to take care of these people. You've been coddled for far too long. It's time that the rest of the country, the bottom 99%, gets the same treatment that you have been enjoying for more than 40 years. That's what Elizabeth Warren represents. That's what Bernie Sanders represents. And that's why these billionaires are absolutely terrified. Thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget, if you like what you see here, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And now you can also become a member of Ring of Fire and get exclusive early access to certain Ring of Fire videos all throughout the week. Just click on the little join button right below the video.